Welcome to round 5 of the 2024 Porsche 944 Challenge Series Australia. Round 5 is presented by Butcher's Diner Melbourne, with thanks to our supporting partners: Porsche Australia, Advan Yokohama Tyres, LK Diesel Service, Don Watson Transport, Campione Electrics, Stratton Finance, Hobart, 1-800 Lasagna, AVI Technology, HAM Financial Advice, Raceline, 888 Home Loans, Pit Lane Clothing. Round 5 sees the championship head to one of the world's best and fastest racetracks, the Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit. Located around 130 kilometres southeast of Melbourne, the circuit is 4.4 kilometres long and runs in an anti-clockwise direction. The world-famous track is well known for being fast and furious, with a high average outright speed due to its flowing corners, plus the undulation and its southern location means weather always plays a part as well. Overall, there are 12 corners. The key ones to watch out for are Turn 1, a high-speed entry corner. Turn 4, a tight hairpin but a great passing opportunity under brakes. Turn 10, the steep drop-down section of the track known as MG corner. And Turn 12, another high-speed corner which leads onto the long front straight and towards the start-finish line. Qualifying took place on Saturday morning, and it was the 4-time series champion Cameron Bella who claimed a commanding pole over championship contender Adam Brewer. Sidelink driver Mark Verdino starts from P3 alongside another 2-time category champion Jamie Westaway in P4. Reigning champion and current championship leader Chris Lewis-Williams will start from P5 alongside the number 71 of Mark Torberts in his new Apple liveried car. Young gun Carter Fox starts from P7 in his number 7 machine next to the vastly experienced Tony Westaway. Josh Brisbane will start out of row 5 in the number 56 green machine alongside Peter Grant, who had an impressive run to start from P10. Andrew Jackman returns to the category after being out with shoulder injuries all year to start from P11, whilst the ever-consistent Michael Westaway is next to him in position 12. Fast riser Nick Carpenter starts from P13, alongside the number 32 of Johnny Venoris, whose car's upgrade are now finding form. Pit lane clothing driver Jack Atley returns to the category this weekend after being away for 18 months. However, officials would find his car to be 2 kilograms underweight after qualifying, and therefore he was disqualified from qualifying. His number 35 will start the race after seeking stewards' permission, meaning he rounds out the 15-car field. Race 1 began on Saturday afternoon, and after the circuit had been drenched in torrential rain earlier, the field rolled out in tough, greasy and damp conditions.
Field of Porsche 944 Challenge machines getting ready to take to the track for race 1 of round 5 of the Victorian State Circuit race series here at Phillip Island, brought to us very, very generously by Trico Windshield Wipers. We cannot thank them enough for their support. We cannot thank them enough for their visibility aid as well on a day like today, because goodness me, there's been a lot of rain falling from the sky here. My name is Matt Dunlop, and alongside me today is a gentleman who's had a lot of experience in these machines here. You may have seen him in the number 64 seat time race simulation machine, but now Keith Mariner is on the microphone next to me, and it's great to have you in the box, Keith.
Thanks, Matt. Great to be here, and on a day like this, I think I prefer it to be in the shelter of the control room here. So that's wonderful. And as we look at the conditions drying, the thoughts go 2 ways. One is actually it's trickier conditions. It's trickier conditions as the track is changing. So as the 944 drivers would generally like it to be full wet or full dry. So should have some exciting laps ahead.
Butcher's Diner are the round sponsors here. Thanks to them for being able to put this show on for the Porsche 944s here in their penultimate round of the Victorian Championship. We've got Cameron Bella in the number 55 Cyan machine starting from pole position, as he tends to do quite a lot with Adam Brewer alongside him in the number 3 car. bid a very warm welcome back to Andrew Jackman in the number 20 Poolmaster Bayside machine, starting out of 11th next to Michael Westerway, uncle of Jamie, brother of Tony, in the number 45 machine. And we also like to give a warm welcome back to the man who's normally up in his commentary box, but is now back on the circuit in the number 35 pit lane racing machine, Jack Atley. And I did mention Nicholas Carpenter there, but he has unfortunately pulled off the track. So we do the Dyna round presenters once again, but we see the field gridding up now. This is going to be a cracker. Green flag at the back of the grid is waving. The 5-second board is out. Everyone is ready to go. Lights ablaze. Red lights are on. The revs are rising. We're underway. It's a great start from Brewer, who gets the jump, but Bella may have not got the shift into second, a little bit better off the line there, and he is going to take the lead down on the run into turn 1.
Bella grabbed the lead as the field charged towards turn 1. Just ahead of Brewer.
As we see Mark Medino just holding off there.
Fantastic. They'll be searching for where the grip is. You'll see them taking some more unusual lines, a karting line, to try and look for that grip off the racing line.
Going to be a bit of a challenge for these drivers to really find where the grip is here, and that's what this first lap is going to be, as you said, just a lot of exploration.
Fox grabbing Torbets under brakes. Grant, the first casualty, sliding out of turn 2 and finding the grass.
But that's the number 84 of Peter Grant, who's had a bit of an
DJ, yeah,
off-track excursion there. I don't know how much damage he's had. It looks like he may have just been potentially just rotated the car and just got it bogged there. So hopefully we can get it fished out. Hopefully we can get a lot of green flag running. There's no sign of a safety car or anything just yet.
But then Torbets and Jackman moving back up through Hayshed.
Just fresh off an engine rebuild, trying to take the fight to Mark Torbets and Andrew Jackman.
And Jackman, showing his many years of go-karting experience, revelling in the wet conditions with the outside line, only to come unstuck at the bottom of Lukey Heights.
Those are that racing lines you were talking about, Keith, over the top of the hill.
And keep an eye on the Poolmaster car, although...
he's around. His first race in the commentary box, and that's his first commentator's curse.
Put the curse on AJ. Great, he loves these conditions, and of course a little bit rusty from being away for the year with his shoulder, but just pushed it a little too far.
With Grant still stuck in the mud, the safety car was called.
Safety car is out, and this is the reason why. He just sort of got it mixed up there all on his own, unfortunately, did PJ, of the muddy infield grass there. So under safety car conditions, the Hyundai and safety car comes out to control the field.
It'll be trying to just get that podium for Adam, and Cam just in the dry in qualifying really got it hooked up on I think it was lap 6.
The top 5 settled in and regrouped behind the safety car.
Pretty close qualifying battle for the rest of the cars behind him there, and it just is a testament to the quality of racing that we have here in the 944 Challenge. And
Marshals were quick to recover Grant, however, meaning a short safety car period. And the field got set to get rolling again.
The safety car lights are out, and yes, it's usually to get the best out of these. It's a delicate touch, but the wet conditions really amplify that. So it's the drivers with the fine control, not so much an aggressive style that's going to do well in the damp conditions here.
Bella led the restart, with Westerway, Brewer and Verdino ready to pounce.
These drivers here at the pointy end of the field have been putting on a hell of a show. And look at Jamie Westerway. He missed around in the state series. He's desperate to claw some points back to get that state championship back onto his grasp once again. The green flag is flying. We are underway once again. Cameron Bella is going to try and get a gap. And look at Jamie Westerway doing his best to hold off the number 3 of Adam Brewer behind him as they make the run down to turn 1 once again. A lot less spray this time around. So the drivers will be counting their blessings about that, but still tiptoeing here through this turn 1. You can see just how much water is sitting offline there. You've got to be really careful about which line you're picking. And
Lewis Williams saw his chance on Verdino.
As we see Chris Lewis Williams giving a bit of chin music there to Mark Verdino in front of him, the number 44.
And Westerway too tried his luck on Bella.
Look at this battle for the lead as well. Sorry to interrupt you there, Keith.
No problem. Chris won't be happy in that position, but look, let's watch Jamie go through. Cam and Jamie can race all day, next to each other. Great racers, great battlers, but very clean.
Westerway assumed the lead.
As Jamie Westerway makes a great move around the outside of turn 3. nails it, gets it done, keeps it held back in turn 4 as well. So now Cameron Bella has to hold off the fast-charging Mark Verdino and Chris Lewis-Williams and Adam Brewer, who are going to be pushing him all the way. It's hard to say how this battle's going to go because there's still quite a bit of time to go in this race.
Verdino crept up on Bella, but remained behind the championship contender.
Verdino is part of the Cam Bella Motorsport stable, so Cam and Mark have been collaborating through the weekend. So we shouldn't see any too close action between those two.
A spin by Attlee saw him out of the race.
Seen on timing screens that Jack Attlee has dropped off, which is unfortunate to see. We're not sure what's happened to the number 35 car. We'll take a look and see if we can get some info from him, and we'll know, hopefully, he can get back out on track tomorrow. First lap across the stripe under full green conditions. We can take a look to see where things are at. Let's take a quick bit of stock here. Jamie Westaway leads by 1.8 seconds or thereabouts, with Cameron Bella holding off this battle pack here for second position. He's got Mark Verdino, Adam Brewer and Chris Lewis-Williams right behind him, but Adam Brewer wants to make a push onto the podium spots here. He's going to have a look up the inside here.
Great courage shown by Brewer into the fast turn 3 saw him get past Verdino.
He's got the spot there. He's going to put a little bit of a defensive wiggle there. Job done through turn 3. Well done, Adam Brewer. He moves up into third position.
Brisbane and Tony Westaway engaged in a fight for the final top 10 position.
There's a lot going on with the conditions changing. Let's have a look at where Josh is at the moment. Josh, the round sponsor with the Butcher's Diner, down in 10th. I think he must have gone back a spot at the start, but looking comfortable behind Tony Westaway.
As Jackman found the grass, pushing against Fox, unfortunately losing him spots after a hard-fought battle.
Some race finishes. He's got some solid points on the board as we see Andrew Jackman rotating the car at the bottom of the hill there at MG. Don't get it stuck in the grass. All good to go.
He's got it going. That's good news. He's always pushing. He's always pushing.
He certainly is, and it's his first time back in the car as well. So he's not necessarily trying to set the world on fire and set the timing screens on fire that much. He's just really keen to bring the car home in one piece and just get a feel for how it's feeling with that shoulder as well, to get himself used to running at full pelt here. And Phillip Island is such a tricky track to do it. So
the fight for second became a four-way fight between championship contenders Bella, Brewer, Verdino and Lewis-Williams, with no one giving an inch.
And now he's pulled right up to the back of him. For a moment I thought this battle pack had thinned itself out a little bit, but they're right close together once again.
I think you're right. Chris is a very experienced racer. He'll be sizing up Mark in front of him and looking for the opportunity to get by.
As Westaway cleared out, Brewer again threw everything at Bella into the fast turn 1.
Look at the gap that Jamie Westaway has at the front of this field. There's just a couple of laps to go, I reckon. But Adam Brewer is having a look up the inside of Bella here on the run down into turn 1. It's a very powerful draft down the main straight. Can he pull it up in time and keep it from crisscrossing?
That's a brave move from Adam. That's great control.
Great control there from Brewer, but it's not.
Lewis-Williams also saw his chance at Siberia corner.
He wants to keep Mark Guess in and put some pressure under him, and it looks like he might be alongside him now.
I think he might be right. He's pushed him onto the curbs on the outside there. Verdino has the line. Lewis-Williams has the pace, but he also has the karting line, and look how much more speed he's got in Siberia.
He'd been watching that for a few laps and executed beautifully. Well done.
Time is about to tick to 0. We've still got a bit of running to do, and now Chris Lewis-Williams has Cameron Bella in his sights. These two have been a mainstay. The battle between the 37 and the 55 has been a mainstay of Porsche 944 racing for a long, long time. So it'll be great to see and sort of the way this battle can come to a close with one more lap to go.
Verdino faded, but with one lap to go, the two championship leaders went nose to tail.
And here's that battle I was talking about. Chris Lewis-Williams on the exit of the Southern Loop, having a look now as they make the run into turn 3. He's right there.
Bella held his nerve. Lewis-Williams locking up in the still very wet conditions.
Which way is he going to weave and duck? Bella's on the defensive in the middle of the track, trying to make that Cyan 944 as wide as possible. Lewis Williams is locked up in an effort to get past him. Great racecraft from Cameron Bella there. He pushed the initiative. We can see the inside of turn 4. That's where Jack Atlee's car is marooned. His race is done. So we're not sure what's happened to that car. Surely a technical issue of some sort. But what a fantastic exchange that was between these two cars here on that corner.
Out in front, the multiple champion Westaway looked as strong as ever. And a late run by Brewer wasn't enough.
You can see him there. Adam Brewer is all over his mirrors there, and I think Jamie Westaway would just be keeping a very casual, cautious eye on his rearview mirrors just to know where Adam is, that number 3 car behind him, but he's only got one more corner to navigate after this one, does Jamie Westaway.
The number 28 home in commanding fashion.
The first outing here for Jamie Westaway this weekend. He takes the checkered flag to win race 1.
Torberts, Tony Westaway and Fox all battling hard right to the finish.
Now we've got a battle on our hands here for what must be P6 as Mark Cadena crosses the line in 5th position. This is Mark Torberts. He's got Tony Westaway, and I believe that is Carter Fox right behind him as well.
Yeah,
and
drag race to the end.
Across the line in that order, so great racing all the way to the end there as well.
So it's Jamie Westaway who takes a commanding win in race 1 in tough conditions. Adam Brewer home in a strong second. Cameron Bella rounds out the podium, importantly for his points just ahead of Chris Lewis-Williams. Mark Torberts fought off Tony Westaway and Carter Fox. The poolmaster, Andrew Jackman, returns with a top 9 finish. Josh Brisbane rounds out the top 10. Over the page, Michael Westaway, Johnny Venoris and Peter Grant classified as the last of the runners. Jack Atlee and Nick Carpenter failing to get across the line. At noon on Sunday, the field rolled out in much better conditions, with a dry track and a clear road ahead.
We're starting to see the cars getting out on track. We've got almost a completely dry tarmac surface now here at Phillip Island. We're still going to have a bumper field, and if Saturday's action was anything to go by, this is going to be an absolute belter of a race. As of the 944 challenge here, Jamie Westaway, just going across the front of your screen there, is on pole position. Next to him on second spot in the grid is Adam Brewer, who's been super consistent. Cameron Bella lines up behind them in that lightning fast Cyan number 55 machine with Chris Lewis-Williams. Both of those drivers sharing alternate championship leads.
It was Westaway who led the charge.
Because the red lights have gone out, Jamie Westaway gets a pretty good jump, as does Adam Brewer.
Atlee was keen to move forward, splitting Venoris and Grant off the line. Bella slotted into second, jumping Brewer.
Adam Brewer might find himself under threat, and he does, from Cameron Bella, who slots in right behind Westaway. But it's all on for young and old, all the way up and down the field. Mark Verdino's trying to get in there as well, and Chris Lewis-Williams does not want to stick around in 5th any longer than he has to.
How quick is that for a start compared to yesterday, Matt? Like that, we were watching them for a lot longer going into turn 1 and 2 yesterday. They're really on fire now.
The pace was hot, and Westaway led into turn 3 for the first time. Bella attacked early to try to take the lead, but the number 28 held on.
But they're all looking at that apex of turn 4 right now. That's the most important thing for them. Tony Westaway making a pass on Carter Fox there. Peter Grant, who had a bit of an excursion yesterday. Still a bit of grass lodged in the front of that car, but is keen to make tracks as soon as he can. Here's Tony Westaway once again. He's one of 2 Westaways on track today. Michael, his brother, out of the race, unfortunately, and out of this weekend. And his son, Jamie, is leading the way, trying to go for that clean sweep.
Brisbane, Jackman and Fox settled in mid-pack. The fight at the front became a 5-car battle.
Equalised, as we see, equal standing almost at the front of this race. Cameron Bella going around the outside. He had a lot more pace than Jamie Westaway. Got a great run of momentum off the last corner there, but Jamie Westaway just has the position and pulled that gap right back again. I think we're going to see some real strong drag racing all race long here in the 944s today.
With Lewis-Williams, Verdino and Brewer joining the top 2. Again, Bella tried on Westaway.
Bella having a look up the inside of Westaway, does not have the space to be able to make a move done. Jamie Westaway is quite comfortable sitting in the lead, taking his traditional racing line.
Lewis-Williams grabbing Verdino into Siberia.
the inside, especially Chris Lewis-Williams, finding a gap on Mark Verdino and slotting his way up into fourth. Geez, Cameron Bella is a demon on the exit of that final corner. He's ahead at the stripe, and that is crucial to note because that may come into play at the end of this race.
Oh my goodness, Matt, I'm just holding my breath slightly watching this. Oh.
Two champions going side by side.
And they're going to be able to hold this side by side most of the way around this track, I reckon. Door to door through Stoner Corner here. Bella's going to have a little bit more pace. Westerway's going to have to do quite well to hang on around the outside. He will have the position here into Honda, so if he can keep the car nice and stable, he will slot back into first.
The next three close behind too.
Adam Brewer has been dicing it up with these two behind him, Chris Lewis-Williams and Mark Verdino.
Eventually, Bella got his man.
Bella right around the outside at the hay shed. He's going to have the inside line now for Lukey. There's a bit more pace on that inside line now that the track's dried out, and he's going to slot in there. What's Jamie Westerway going to try here at MG?
Things really began to heat up for the final podium position.
Well, those running the left-hand drive cars, it's not everyone, as we see another really nice pass there from Chris Lewis-Williams.
The 3 inches apart.
Moment. It's really great. We're seeing Bella and Westerway go at each other. Whoa, bit of a lock up there.
The pressure was showing as Lewis-Williams dived under Brewer and Verdino.
As does Chris Lewis-Williams, who actually had to push Mark Verdino a little bit wider than he thought he was expecting to go there, but he gave him plenty of racing room.
Verdino taking the spot back from Lewis-Williams.
The camaraderie between these drivers, I speak about it every time I get on the mic, but it can't be stressed enough because these guys...
And trouble for Fox as Brisbane, Grant and Torberts took him.
Mark Torberts has actually slotted in front of Carter Fox since the line, so he made that move done at turn 1, and the number 71 driven by El Presidente, Mark Torberts, is into the top 10.
Verdino eventually grabbed Brewer into the fast turn 1.
Keep an eye for Mark Verdino to see if he can make a run on Adam Brewer down the main straight here. He's tucked right up behind him as they cross the stripe. So will he be able to make a lunge? Yep, there he goes, down the inside. Will he have the position to actually get the move done? They're basically side by side. He gets the job done. Can he hold it? It looks to be pretty solid to me. Great racing from Mark Verdino. That was almost a full sector long move to get that one done.
Yeah, he definitely.
Then Brewer bounced back.
With all this tarmac on the road to play with. Brewer going up the inside into Lukey Heights once again. Mark Verdino's got pace. Can he hold it on as he goes all the way around the outside? It's marginal. He's going to have the position into MG. Chris Lewis-Williams standing both feet on the brake pedal. Just got that one pulled up. He hasn't lost too much momentum because Brewer and Verdino were side by side through there and didn't slow each other up slowed each other up quite a bit. So now Lewis-Williams taking advantage, going up the inside of Verdino.
Lewis-Williams still throwing everything at the other two.
Can Chris Lewis-Williams try something audacious around the outside into turn 1? He's a bit shaky there, has to back out and runs it pretty wide.
And with the battle being so tight, both drivers were feeling the pressure.
Oh no!
Oh, spoke too soon.
That is laser-guided commentator's curse from Aberdeen there. Mark Verdino locking the rears up and looping it around at the southern loop there. It's such a tricky corner. He's got it back on the tarmac. No damage done except to his lap time and his position.
Meanwhile, the fight for the minors was just as tough. Venoris and Attlee going at it for a top 10 spot.
Got Jack Attlee, who's returning to the driving seat for the first time in a long time here this weekend in the number 35 pit lane clothing machine. He's having a great battle with John Venoris, and it's great to see Johnny getting stuck in the number 32 purple machine. It's been plagued with a lot of mechanical issues here and there. He hasn't really been able to get a whole lot of track time in the past, but he's having a great go of it now and racing alongside with Jack Attlee. So those two are having a really good ding-dong battle here.
Yeah, and Jack hasn't been in a race car competitively for 18 months. I mean, that's years in race to speak. I mean, it takes you a lot to get reacclimated with the car and to feel comfortable on track again. Fitness has to be there, concentration has to be there. Jack's actually doing a decent job. I mean, the top 6 is super competitive, so anywhere outside of that, if you're getting 7th, 8th, 9th, you're doing really well.
Neither giving an inch as the battle continued.
John Venoris is trying his best to claw onto the back of Jack Atlee here and keep on him. I wonder if John's one of those drivers who likes having a bit of a carrot in front of him to see, you know, copy a bit of technique and follow the lines and just sort of stay in that slot. This will be an interesting case as well to see how much momentum, because both of these drivers will be taking quite a similar line there through the exit of the final corner, but John's got a lot more pace and he's actually pulling to the inside without the help of the draft at all. So Jack Atlee may be down a little bit more on power than he's expecting that 944 to be. 50 tyres do the most work they possibly can, especially with Norris, who's found time around the outside here at the southern loop, and he's going to slot in front, possibly in front into the Stoner corner. Jack Atlee's got a bit of pace on the exit. They're going to be side by side as they round through turn 3. The run to turn 4, anything can really happen here. Venoris may have to slot back on the inside, or is he going to have a look Jack Atlee moves across, very gradual move there, shuts the door completely on him. Pretty standard block pass, great defensive driving there from Atlee. So we'll see how that battle pans out as it gets towards the end. But meanwhile, at the front, Cameron Bella has had a barnstorming race. The best lap, as you said, of a 148.55 or thereabouts, and he's been rock solid as he's renowned to be. He's one of the most consistent drivers that I've seen in my time commentating 944s, and today's no exception.
Up front, though, the 4-time series champion Bella had cleared out.
That'll be a great result for him in his championship battle for both series points standings as the series rolls on. Cameron Bella will take the stripe, will take the checkered flag, and will take race 2 here at Phillip Island ahead of Jamie Westaway in the number 28. And with Chris Lewis-Williams back in 4th, that's going to be a very handy little buffer there. Adam Brewer rounds out the podium once again. Another really great result from that consistent number 3 car. This battle is still raging on so far in this race, and I think John Venoris has actually found a bit of time there, a bit of momentum. He's going to tuck right into the slipstream, and Jack Atlee is just going to hold him off for 12th and 13th positions respectively. Great racing all the way up and down the field in this race 2 of the 944 Challenge, brought to us by Butcher's Diner. What a race that was.
So it's Cameron Bella who takes his first victory of the weekend, home clearly, ahead of Jamie Westaway. More good championship points for Adam Brewer, with another podium for him and a solid 4th place for reigning champion Chris Lewis-Williams. A hard-fought 5th spot for Mark Verdino. Andy Jackman, another great result in 7th. Carter Fox refired his engine to stay inside the top 10, and Peter Grant completes that. Mark Torberts with late mechanical gremlins saw him get home in 11th. Jack Atlee managing to hold off Johnny Venoris by 0.3 of a second as the number 32 rounds out the field. On Sunday afternoon, race 3, the final race of the weekend, and the weather remained fine and dry.
One last trip around the Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit for the Porsche 944 Challenge.
It was Bella on pole.
Cameron Bella on pole position with that race win last time out. James Westaway will line up alongside him, with Adam Brewer and Chris Lewis-Williams tucked in right behind. Chris is going to be very keen to get to the front of this pack once again. These guys, it was great to see, as you saw, racing all the way up and down the field in that last outing. Jack Atlee, I was having a bit of a chat to him. He was almost worried if he was pushing the boundaries a little bit too much, but Johnny was saying that he loved it as well. So there's just such close competition all the way up and down, and the green flag has been waved at the back of this field.
The front row of Westaway and Bella fast off the line.
Illuminated, the revs are rising, the clutch is dropping, we're underway. Bella gets the better launch, but Westaway's not too far behind him. It's a clean getaway for almost all the field there.
Atlee with nowhere to go, and Torberts pounced. Lewis-Williams made an early move into 3rd spot.
While Adam Brewer goes side by side with Chris Lewis-Williams around the outside. Mark Verdino's almost trying to make it 3 wide on the inside on the exit there. Has to file in behind, but Chris Lewis-Williams will be stoked with that start.
Verdino stayed in touch, but a stunning move by Brewer saw him close in.
We just have started indeed. Jamie Westaway is not letting Cameron Bella go. Look at Adam Brewer fanning all the way out to the right-hand side. I don't even know if Chris Lewis-Williams is going to see that pass coming. Adam Brewer gets up the inside, leaves him plenty of room there. Bit of smoke on the rear end there because Lewis Williams was lighting up those rear tyres, trying to get the thing moving on the exit there. And I think he's done so quite well because he looks to have countered that move very well. But they are going to be side by side, and I love this track so much. That whole section, we've been seeing side by side running through the lefts and rights all weekend long. And these 944s are so good for putting on a show. Adam Brewer using all the track and then some, dipping the right-hand side wheels in the grass on the other side of the curb. It's lost him a little bit of pace, but he is still in front of Chris Lewis Williams for now.
The reigning champion, however, wasn't giving up easy.
Mark Medino's got the best seat in the house watching it as well. From behind them in 5th position, he'll be able to see up the road what's happening with Cameron Bella and Jamie Westaway as a result of that too. Lewis Williams currently has the advantage as they roll through the final 2 turns here. Mark Medino's going to see if he can make a run. So is Adam Brewer.
Brewer all over him.
Running order, the first time across the stripe in anger is Bella, Westaway, Lewis Williams, Brewer, Medino, Jackman, Tony Westaway, Josh Brisbane, Mark Torberts, Carter Fox.
Torberts too used the slipstream on Brisbane and dived at the fast turn 1.
Here we see Mark Torberts in that beautifully presented number 71 Apple machine, that Alan Moffat inspired livery, slipstreaming his way past Josh Brisbane on the inside with another move just up ahead of Tony Westaway as he's all over the back of Andrew Jackman right now. As I said, racing all the way up and down this field.
Up front, Lewis Williams, Brewer and Verdino kept battling.
Not yet, they're still side by side, there's nothing in it. Lewis Williams is going to have the advantage here.
Verdino trying all he could to get past.
I think Mark Verdino's even going to try and make his way past here as well. Geez, it's you blink and everything's just all over the place once again in terms of the running order. And Andrew Jackman leading a bit of a train behind him. This is the battle for 6th position. Tony Westaway, he's been around the traps, he's been racing these cars for a long time. It's very much a family affair for the Westaways.
Tony Westaway saw his opportunity on Jackman.
As we see these battles coming to the line once again, Tony Westaway's trying to fan out and get past Andrew Jackman. He looks to have a bit of momentum there, but he is going to have the outside line. So this one will be neck and neck as they come into turn 1. There is space for 2 cars to run side by side, and it looks like they're going to do that. Tony Westaway's got him covered off before they even reach there. So that's just another brilliant corner here in the hay shed, and you can see what sort of racing action it produces. It's almost a straight in how the way that these cars behave. Even though you're at full send, you're steering with your feet basically with the pedals. As Adam Brewer has a look up the inside in the MG corner, it's a very, very popular overtaking spot here. But Chris Lewis Williams isn't backing down without a fight. He's going to pull them all the way through these last 2 bends.
Deja vu at the front. 3 wide down Gardner Straight.
Mark Medino will be very, very keen to stay on the back of both of these cars. They might be dragging each other down a little bit with a side draft, and he might be able to capitalise as he makes it 3 wide as they come across the stripe in formation. Let's see how this one turns out when they get down towards turn 1. Mark Medino's got so much pace, he might be able to sling around the outside. He certainly does on Chris Lewis Williams, and he does on Adam Brewer as well. Fantastic move from Mark Medino in the number 44. And the margins, look at the gaps on the screen. 1,000th of a second. 1,000th. 0.1 of a second across the stripe last time by.
A hard-stopping mid-race moment too, as Jackman spun at Honda hairpin, approaching drivers Torberts, Grant, Brisbane and Fox, all missing him by inches. And for anyone doubting the skill of the drivers in the 944 challenge, a freeze frame from Fox showing just how close it was.
Further back, we see Carter Fox also having a look up the inside of Peter Grant in the 84. That number 7 machine we've seen in the past few years was absolutely rapid, winning quite a few races in the hands of John Kennedy.
Battle raged on. However, the green machine of Brisbane held strong, fighting all the way.
And they're hoping to get that thing back to the front of the field next season. But definitely keep an eye on this Carter Fox bloke because he's a rapid steerer and he's one of the loveliest blokes in the paddock as well.
Albeit under pressure.
Thanks, man. It's brilliant.
3/10 feels gigantic in comparison to what we're seeing along the rest of the field with the size of these battles. So there's action everywhere. You look in this 944 race, and Josh Brisbane has made his way up into 8th position for the time being, and he's holding off this battle pack behind him, doing a great job so far this weekend. It must be said, the number 56 car.
And eventually, a small slide saw Fox get past.
In his done very well to hold off Carter Fox there. He's run it quite wide though, and that's going to sacrifice a little bit of momentum. So Carter Fox is going to try and find some space around the outside of the number 56 Green Machine. PJ Grant wants to get in on that slipstream action down the back straight as well.
With Fox claiming that spot at turn 1.
The train has formed now. Josh Brisbane's having a look. He feels racy. He's got the pace. PJ Grant wants in on this too. He's not going to try and make it 3 wide. He thought about it, but Carter Fox is going to be able to pretty successfully defend that pack into turn 1 this time by.
Out in front, it was just as close. Westaway and Bella going nose to tail.
This is a brilliant looking battle for the lead as well. Bella has not left the back of Jamie Westaway. The difference is less than a 0.2 of a second. Passing is one thing, but staying in front is quite another, especially when you've got a competitor with the sort of the tenacity that Cameron Bella does. He's done this for quite a long time. He knows how to wheel these cars. He knows how to find the momentum down the main straight. He's pulling out 0.087 is the gap at the stripe. Geez, this is going to be a grandstand finish in a few laps' time. They're side by side once again.
Bella dived at Honda Hairpin.
He's filling the right-hand side mirror now. Is he going to run it in hot, or can he actually make some gains here? They're side by side. That's a great block pass from Cameron Bella. Slots back in front of the number 28 Jamie Westaway machine.
The race then suddenly became a last lap thriller.
Clock in the top left corner at the top of your totem pole has just ticked to 0, so the last lap board will be out for the leaders as they cross the stripe next time by.
With action everywhere.
You can try. So here's another great example. Chris Lewis-Williams is a lot closer this time by than Jamie Westaway was, for instance, so he's going to very much have the draft handy to him. You saw him making a move there as he took to the stripe there to took the proverbial white flag. Meanwhile, Jamie Westaway was making that move at the front of the field, got the move done and has held on to the lead of the race.
Westaway looked comfortable until...
What will Cameron Bella do through Stoner Corner? Not a whole lot of racing has been happening there, but I take it back. Stoner Corner is where he makes the move. None of us saw that coming. Jamie Westaway's fully backed off now. There's like an acre of daylight between the two cars, and he's got an issue. What a shame that is for Jamie Westaway. He's pulled out. Something's gone wrong with the car. Look at him. He's beside himself, and you would be. Meanwhile, Mark Verdino has looped it. The pressure got to him as well. I did not see any contact between him and Chris Lewis-Williams.
Verdino too went wide.
There's still a long way to go back to Tony Westaway. Geez, it is all happening.
And with Westaway gone,
Cameron Bella has no one to impede him at the front now. Very unfortunate finish to that race for Jamie Westaway.
Torbert's machine literally run out of gas.
On here, and he had the fastest lap of the race too.
It was, in the end, Bella who cruised home.
But Cameron Bella in the number 55, lights ablaze, takes the checkered flag to win race 3 here at Phillip Island. He will take the round as a result as well.
Grant and Brisbane still fighting.
Battles continue to rage all the way up and down the field. PJ Grant doing his best to hold off Joshua Brisbane in the number 56 behind him.
A last lap mistake by Atlee saw Venoris get through as well.
He'll try his darnest. He'll be pushing that pedal through the firewall, but that was a fantastic weekend, capped off with a brilliant race 3.
So after a stunning weekend of racing, in the end, it's Cameron Bella who takes his second victory for the weekend in race 3. Home ahead of Adam Brewer, Chris Lewis-Williams with a gutsy and courageous hard-fought third place. Mark Verdino showed great form all weekend. Tony Westaway a top 5 result. Carter Fox home in 6th, ahead of Peter Grant, and the best weekend of the year for Josh Brisbane in the naming rights partner Butcher's Diner car too. Andrew Jackman's return proving very successful, and Johnny Venoris fought all weekend, in the end nabbing him a rewarding top 10 result. The returning Jack Atlee missed that spot by 0.2 of a second. Mark Torberts slowed after fighting all race, and a heartbreaking end for the 2-time champion Jamie Westaway, who completed the field. Looking at the points tallies after round 5, as the 944 Challenge Series competes nationally as well as locally in Australian states, there are 2 sets of championship points awarded to drivers. And firstly, looking at the Victorian State Series, with just one round to go, it's still Chris Lewis-Williams who leads that tally, but a strong round by Cameron Bella sees him now sit just 3 points off the lead. Adam Brewer slightly back in third, Mark Verdino not far away either in fourth. Jamie Westaway remains in fifth with his race win. Mark Torberts now moves past Dickie Howe into sixth. Michael Westaway, Tony Andrzejewski and Tony Westaway moves up 4 spots to complete the top 10. Lyndon Watson now moves outside the top 10. Johnny Venoris up 1 place, and stellar weekends for Josh Brisbane sees him move up 3 spots to now sit 16th. Peter Grant up 4 spots, and Carter Fox up 5 spots from last round to sit 18th. Jared Campione completes the top 20. Andy Tudor just outside that, and Sam Rofe completes that table with limited running. Whilst in the overall 944 Challenge Series, with 2 rounds to go, it is still anybody's to win. But after another strong weekend, it's Cameron Bella who remains at the top of the table. Chris Lewis-Williams stays in second, just 13 points off the lead, whilst Adam Brewer also stays in third, but again only 1 solitary point behind Lewis-Williams. Big mover here, however, was Tony Westaway up 6 spots after a really strong Phillip Island. Nick Carpenter remains inside the top 10. Josh Brisbane too saw a massive improvement, up 4 spots to sit just outside the top 10. Peter Grant moves up 3 places, as does a reinvigorated Johnny Venoris to now sit 16th. Carter Fox up 4 spots to sit 17th. Manny Mezaselma completes the top 20. Andrew Jackman, Andy Tudor and Jack Atley now added to the list, ahead of Jimmy Mitchell. And Sam Rofe completes that table again with limited running. If it's close, hard and fast racing in stunning Porsche machinery on some of Australia's best racetracks that you're after, head over to our website www.944challenge.com and check out all the information. The 944 Challenge Series will be back, bigger and better, for round 6 at the historic Calder Park Raceway on the 26th and 27th of October. We look forward to seeing you there. In conjunction with Blendline TV, this has been a production by Pit Lane Media.